Well, Superlap 2023 started off as they usually do, with an emergency engine swap on the second car that we're fielding. Don Brown's Subaru GC8 with an STI swap.
During our tuning session on Tuesday, we had a little bit of a mishap. We're tuning on 91 octane and everything was going well. And our last pull, we started noticing we had some rod hogs. So I believe we spun a bearing in the original race motor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the old motor and that came out of the race car and we're going to put it back in, get it tuned and get it ready to go so we can get back to Superlap. It is a life with Subarus, and they're just so finicky, and sometimes things just don't go your way. But we have a plan, and we're going to move ahead.
So we need to get this assembly off. We need to get this assembly off. We need to get this disconnected. Yep, because since the shop was full, we started working on the vehicle in our parking lot. This ensured we were ready to put the vehicle on the lift first thing in the morning. We're going to try to take the whole manifold out, take the whole thing out, and transfer it. It's kind of the goal of the night. Just because it just it's like the pin from a contentioner. It was in the radiator too. It's in the tray. I don't know. I don't think that's supposed to be in there, Don.
No? It was inside of it?
It fell out of the radiator, dude.
How the fuck did that get in there?
ABC has some crank on the bottom. Oh, for the harness here? So we're finishing up today. We got the manifold loose, ready to come off. We're kind of preparing everything for tomorrow to try to make it a little bit easier. So we got all the harness stuff, got all the harness taken off, all the accessories, all the fuel lines, everything like that. So tomorrow we just have to basically drop the manifold, take out a couple extra sensors, take the turbo off, yank the engine out, and then hopefully reverse process that all tomorrow and not have to work on the Sunday. Thankfully, since this was a week before the event, we were able to utilize the WDL garage and the staff to get this knocked out pretty quickly. Once the engine was out, it didn't take very long to transfer the parts to the new donor engine and to get it back into the car. With the engine back in the car, we headed down to the local racetrack Podium Club to do some testing just to make sure everything was ready to go. Not really. To be on the safe side, we brought the NSX down for a final shakedown as well. And as expected, we found a few other small leaks that we had to fix before we headed out on the road. We need to get that. Is it doing at parking lot speeds?
We're out here at Podium Club on a beautiful Sunday. Weather's great. Maiden voyage for the GC. First session was okay. We had some suspension setup issues, so we got that taken care of. Also having a little bit of a temperature control, some coolant issues. We found a AN fitting that was loose. We got that tightened up. We also did some routing changes for pressurization on the coolant system. So we're gonna take it out again here in the next half hour and see how it goes.
One of our goals for testing ahead of the event was to make sure we break anything possible here locally so we could fix it before we headed out. Once we were happy with the car, we decided it was time to crack open a fresh beverage.
When you go to the race days, you should always bring beer. The only beer you should bring is Santan Brewing. Please sponsor us.
We're on our way to Superlap USA here. Chris and I have been driving the first bit. Severin's tucked away in the back there. We're gonna try to get to our first stop, which should be, I don't know, a couple 100 miles outside of Austin tonight. Usually takes about 12 hours of driving. Kind of drama-free so far, so hopefully it continues that way. Knock on wood. So.
Outside of some pretty minor weather, it was a pretty easy drive out to Fort Stockton. Gave us some time to relax and grab a drink or two. We were back on the road early, heading through the central part of Texas on our way to Austin.
Right there. That's where we hung out for fucking hours.
We had the pleasure of passing through Fredericksburg again, which is where our trailer was totaled last year. You better believe we were keeping our eyes peeled for an X5 coming out of nowhere. After 16 hours of driving, we finally arrive in Austin, Texas. Next time with WDL Racing. Tom looks at something. We have group therapy, and I talk to some people, and get to sign some dude's shirt.